Yo, what's up guys? My name is Chika Moya and thank you for joining me once again. So I figured that I've made a lot of videos about the downsides of the winter here. I've spoken about how the dark can make you feel pretty depressed. I've spoken about how it's actually freaking cold here and all those type of things. But I'm yet to talk about what I really enjoy about the winter. And that's what we're going to be doing in this video. First of all, if you are back to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, why don't you go on and subscribe? Because as soon as we reach 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be going ice swimming. I'm going to be giving you 4 different reasons why I think the winter here in Finland is fantastic. And I'm sure if you live in other places around the world that share the same sort of weather DNA, you might see some of these things reflected in what you like about where you're from. But this is purely from my perspective as someone who comes from one of the warmer places that you could be in the world. That's the lens that I'm going to be approaching all of this from. I'm going to be starting from number 4. So number 4 is that there are no more sweaty and humid nights. You know what I mean? You know, when you're in your blankets, you're sweating, it's hot, you don't have any air conditioning, you can't do anything about it except throw the blankets off and just lay there in your sweat. Here in the wintertime, unless you've got the heaters turned way up, you don't experience that anymore. In fact, you can turn the heaters low enough so that you can cover yourself completely in your blankets and fall sound asleep. On top of that, this may seem like something small to you, but to me it's big, is the fact that when it's cold here, you will always get nice, delicious, cold water to drink out of the tap. I can't tell you how many times wherever I've been around the world, opening up the tap and drinking warm water because there's nothing in the fridge. There's nothing worse than being really thirsty and drinking warm, lame water. You're sleeping all nice and comfortable in your blankets. You decide you're thirsty. You get up, you go to the kitchen, you open the tap, fill it with water, and drink crisp, clear, fresh water that is nice and cold. Reason number 3 is cozy nights in front of the fire or cozy nights in front of the TV. You know, I've spoken about the downside of it always being dark and feeling rather depressed and all that kind of vibe. But there's an opposite side to that too, where when it's dark, it creates this awesome opportunity that is perfect, absolutely perfect for being in front of the TV with a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or whatever you like to drink with some snacks, watching a film. Those evenings are beautiful. Or those evenings when you put out a few candles and you've got the warm golden glow of some of those lights and everything just feels perfect. On top of that, here in Finland there's a lot of people have cottages. So you'll go to a cottage and you've got a fireplace, and if you're really lucky, you've also got an amazing lake near your cottage. It's dark, the fireplace is glowing, a warm orange light, chilling there reading, or you have some marshmallows in the fire or frying some sausages. Most of what you can expect is for things to be really quiet and still, and that's just lovely. Number 2, personally, I still find snow absolutely breathtaking. I grew up in a country that, unless you live in certain parts really high above sea level, you probably don't see snow. You know, I grew up watching snow on TV, like in films. You know, I knew snow was real, and a part of my mind was like, yeah, snow's a thing. It's like that stuff that you find in the deep freezer. but I hadn't really completely registered it. Even in South Africa, I did go to a few places where there was snow added with artificial snow, but I still had that experience. But nothing could prepare me for when I arrived here and it was snowing like crazy. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did another video called "There's Finally Snow in Helsinki." But after that, here we literally got buried in snow. There is snow everywhere and it's lovely. I love the sound of my feet crunching in the snow. I love the silence it creates. It's just amazing. There are certain benefits that come from it being super cold outside that I didn't even think about. In a lot of apartments here, you get the outhouse where you put all your trash. And during summertime or when it's a little hotter, it smells really horrible. But during wintertime, it doesn't really smell like anything because most of the stuff in there is basically frozen. Another added benefit is when you're having a party or something and you've got a bunch of people over and there's no space in the fridge. Do you know what you do to all your drinks? You put them outside. Because outside is probably as cold or colder than it is in your deep freezer. Reason number one. There's one reason why I will always appreciate winter in Finland. One reason why I think, although it can be pretty difficult, it's still amazing. And this reason is, there are no bugs. I hate bugs. Any type of bugs. I hate the way they move, I hate the way they look. And chief amongst these bugs that I absolutely hate is the cockroach. Cockroaches for me are disgusting. It's just gross. I detest them so much. But I haven't seen a cockroach here once. And that is heavenly. Years ago when my family lived together, we lived in this apartment and it was infested with cockroaches. I don't mean one or two. I'm talking about where you see them crawling up the walls, or you'd be too afraid to go into the kitchen at night because you know as soon as you turn on the light, there won't be anything moving for a moment, and next thing you'll just see them all scattering around. And those memories have just created a part of me that I just can't handle it. Maybe some of you are like, oh, they're not a big deal. We'll see what you think when they literally stay in your house and they don't pay rent. And another cool thing is that there are no mosquitoes. Because it's so cold, there's none of this being asleep and hearing that and then you end up slapping yourself to get rid of them. I can't tell you how grateful, how absolutely grateful I am because of that. And yes, of course, when you go to cottages, which are a little bit more in the wilderness, you're more likely to see certain type of bugs and mosquitoes and whatever. But even then, they seem pretty chill, you know? Those are the 4 reasons that on a fundamental level I enjoy winter. Some of these reasons that I've given may seem really small, but to me, in my perspective, they're really massive. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Yeah, let's get to those 2,000 subscribers. Apart from that, have a fantastic day, evening, or wherever you are. Cheers for now. Bye.